It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. We promised you an inspirational show this morning, so let's continue on that trend with one of the most inspirational individuals certainly this country has ever produced, and he's doing something pretty cool, or has at least just completed something awesome. The 18th edition of the Sani2c took place over the weekend with over 2,000 riders taking part in the event in KZN, which is fantastic. So the 3 days of mountain biking covers a distance of around 265 Ks and takes riders from Underberg to Scottsboro. Given the devastation in KZN recently as a result of the floods, it was no small task getting the route ready for another epic ride with over 100 people working to ensure that the route was better than ever. And boy, doesn't this area need that secondary spend apart from anything else. Now, someone who can attest to the quality of the route and the experience overall just happens to be our World Cup winning Springbok Captain, Smit, who took part in the race and now joins us via Zoom. You don't look tired at all, buddy. Are the legs at least a little bit lactic?
Yeah, it's an awesome event. So yeah, I think we finished on Friday. So by Monday, you sort of feel a bit better. But yeah, it was an incredible experience. So we're pretty fortunate. We go with a big group. The Sani2c legends are probably about 6 or 7 ex-players, and then we partner with DSV, and they bring a few of their clients, and it's like being back on a rugby tour, except instead of getting beaten up for 80 minutes, you get beaten up for between 5 and 7 hours, depending on how fast or slow you are.
Look, man, there's so much talk about this race. The brand is so strong, and obviously you've done a couple of the races yourselves. What is it? I mean, you got the venue, you've got this world-class organization, but for you, what is it that makes this such a special race?
It's probably my favorite three-stage race in the country, and I do quite a few of these events. And for McGlenn and the community, I think where it started was just to try and raise some funds for a local school. And so what they've done within that Underberg area all the way through to the South Coast is just uplift wherever they can. You look at where it started. I mean, and I haven't done that many. You know, I've probably been riding for the last sort of 6 or 7 years, but they've got these amazing race villages where you start in Glencoe and you go. It's from Mackenzie to Jolivet to Scottsboro, and you just stay in the most amazing places. The vibe around the riders and the race villages is really cool, and the trails are pretty intense. I mean, it's the admin of moving from one stage to another is worth the beauty of, I guess, the KwaZulu-Natal that we get to see. And you look at the damages. I mean, we saw a lot of damage along the way, and the way that they've been able to rebuild it and produce probably some of the finest single track. I mean, it's almost too smooth. I mean, sometimes I wonder if you actually even need a full suspension bike, because you know, that second day you come down the Umkomaas drop, and it's the most magical view of this river, and it's incredible. So a massive privilege to be able to ride it. But the amount of influence that this race has had on the local community and the surrounding areas, and the work that was done this year to get it back to a condition that you can ride it in has just been phenomenal. So a privilege to be there for us as the Sani2c Rugby Legends, and for us, we ride it just to raise awareness for our non-profit organisation that helps rugby development in the country, and we build our relationships with the corporates that partner with us to do that as well. So it's lucky to see the area is rebuilding. There's a lot to be done, though. It's quite devastating.
I was going to ask you about that, having seen firsthand, and to be a part of something so positive in that space, I know is fantastic, but you obviously got to see front row seat exactly what happened in the area. What do you think needs to be done? I know in your heart of hearts, you're always looking to provide solutions where you can. What do you think needs to happen in KZN? I'm sure the secondary spend from a massive event like this is great. What do you think needs to be done in the area, and how did you feel emotionally being in that space so soon after the devastation?
Look, I think there's quite a few things that are needed, but I think it's almost like an event like the Cap Sani2c is incredible, because we need events like this to bring people back to KwaZulu-Natal, to experience it from a tourism point of view, but you know, you need things to work as well. So, you know, roads that are broken got to be fixed. So it's almost like there's got to be from a municipality / government point of view, there's got to be a lot of investment in focusing all their attention and their funds on getting the fundamentals right, which is, for me, transport, water, and you can see that that's already going. I mean, I remember coming in on the last day on Friday, and as you're coming in, you're getting closer and closer to the sea, and you can see the devastation that the floods have had on the roads and the surrounds. But there's trucks, there's cranes, there's that heavy beeping noise of big machinery going on as you're coming to Scottsboro. So there's definitely action happening, and there is a rebuilding of KwaZulu-Natal of where all the devastation happened. And then now I guess it's up to the rest of us to, continue going back to KwaZulu-Natal, doing races like the Sani2c, doing Ironman that's in 2 weeks' time, and showing the support from our side, because it's definitely being worked on from their side.
Yeah, look, I just want to say thank you, man. I mean, I'm looking at this event, and the community involvement's insane. 23 schools benefiting from this, and the work you're doing just to raise exposure and awareness in the area. It's incredible, man. So I just want to say thank you. Literally, that's all I got to do.
And you're a big guy, man. Getting on a bike, going through those trails, man. We appreciate you. I'm sure what you lose on the uphill, you'll gain on the downhill. But thank you so much for being that voice, not just for the Cell C legends, but I think for the South African fraternity that is wanting to give back and do something. You're proving that you can do it in so many different ways. So, John, we love you, guy. Have an amazing day, and we look forward to catching up with you ahead of the next crazy race that you're going to do. But have an amazing day, my friend. Thanks so much for connecting.
Thank you, gents. Have a wonderful day.
You too. What a legend, man.
Absolute legend. So good to hear that the groundwork in KZN is being done, but he said it. You prove this. We've got to get down there. You've got to get into KZN. We've got to boost tourism. It's one of the most majestic places on the planet. Go and see for yourself.